Welcome, Watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion. Yes, indeed, 27th of August. We're almost in September, which is a bit scary, really, but it'd be nice because all the kids go back to school, and that means I get some time to myself and have a bit of peace and quiet. But until then, my friends, I bring you this. Now, there's two reasons I'm bringing you this. One is because I absolutely adore this game, and two, because it's coming out on the Commodore Amiga, I think next month. So either September or October, one of the two. Anyway, and it's also being packaged with the new A1200 from Retro, they call Retro Games. The same guys that did the Spectrum and the Amiga 500. So yeah, those guys. But they're obviously not the ones developing it. It's just going to get bundled with that Amiga package, which is rather cool. But what game is this, Richie boy, I hear you say? First of all, don't call me that. Secondly, it's Settlers 2, but it's the 10th anniversary edition that was released by Ubisoft, and it's a bit good. Now, if you ever played Settlers 2, I think it was Vini Vici Vidi or something like that back in the day. It was on Windows 95. CD-ROM, yes, I actually had it on the Amiga. I didn't have that on the Amiga because it never got released. It was supposed to be released on the Amiga, but just never got one. Ooh, until now, almost. So I thought I'd bring in this one as a sort of precursor to that, because I really enjoy this game. If you want a game that you can just sit down, have a cup of tea, have a bite to eat, and leave it running while you do so, this is the game for you. It's a great game. And I have covered Settlers 1 on the Amiga, and that took away a large percentage of my younger Amiga days because it was just a very addictive game. This is in no way, shape or form any different to that in the respects of you build, you make other buildings, you make other buildings, those buildings then become profession buildings. You'll get the idea as we go. So this is an open world map. This is just one of the random ones I've selected. And I think it's called the Stormfront or something along those lines. But you can see here we have a ton of rocks that we could really use. I've already set in motion up there a woodcutter's hut because there's a lot of trees up there. Once the woodcutter has been assembled, or once his hut has been assembled, the woodcutter himself will be assigned. We're building a fishing hut down here, and we're going to pop a quarry in there as well, which means he should go over and demolish all those rocks into stone. Once we've got the stone, that goes into the main building, and then will get removed for building purposes. Now you can see all these little guys roaming around the map doing their thing. So we've got an archaeologist out here already, or a geologist out here already, and he's going to check for minerals. And he's already found some stone, which is great because that's really good for your building materials. So you can see here, when you press the spacebar, it opens up all of these little icons on your screen, which shows you what sort of building types you can make. Now, there's small, medium, and large buildings that you can make. Small ones are normally for huts, such as woodcutter, forester, well, stonemason, all that sort of thing. So they're the small buildings. Oh, and also barracks, things like that, which is good for pushing your boundary lines, which we'll go over in a few minutes. Now it's completely mouse driven, so let's just get that out of the way straight away. We'll start with controls for a change. Also, once I reach the limit of the review, I'm going to keep it running because this is a game that isn't going to be covered in 15 minutes. It really isn't. But I might not be able to talk for the duration of however long this is going to go on for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to still put the score right at the end, so you probably have to skip to that if you want to see what I've given this score-wise. But if you want to see the game progress after I've finished talking, then please just stick around, because I plan on giving you a lot of footage of this one. Anyway, to the here and now. The way you move around the screen is quite simple. You just edge your mouse to the edge of the screen and it will scroll along, which is a really nice way of doing it. Then you press spacebar, which will give you the plots that you can see there. So we've got castles, which are the biggest plot you can get. So things like farms will be done with those. Then the medium-sized buildings, you've got things like your sawmill, which is something that we've built there. You can see there. And you'll see as we cut the trees down, they'll take those logs and put them in the sawmill, and the sawmill fellow will do his job and turn them into planks, which is fantastic. He'll turn the logs into planks, not the people, because that would be a bit weird. Be prepared to lose a lot of your life if you start playing this game, because it's very difficult to put down. I will tell you now, the addictiveness level of this game is extraordinary. It might not be your thing, in which case you're probably just going to switch off and go somewhere else. But I implore you to just keep in with the review, check it out as much as you can endure it. For those of you who are already fans of the series, this is probably going to be one of your favourites. I found Settlers 3 was okay. Settlers 4, 5, and however many there are now, I kind of lost interest in them because they just took they took away the formula that worked, and that was a shame. Because these games are, well, they are very important to me in my life cycle, because I spent a lot of time, not so much with Settlers 2, but with Settlers 3, I spent a lot of time networking with a friend of mine, and we used to, one of the evenings that we stayed up late, and we were building our own, we were two separate sides of the map, we'd struck an alliance, that sort of thing, and we turned to each other and we said, what time is it? We looked at our watches and it had gone to 7 AM. We'd been up all night playing Settlers 3. That's how addictive these games can be. Anyway, I digress. So yes, you can click on the little icon like this, and then you can select a building. Now they're all labelled, so that's easy enough to do. So you've got things like the sawmill, you've got a mill, bakery, slaughterhouse, mint, where you can forge coins, but you need gold for that, so you're going to have to find a gold mine. Now those things are literally like gold mines, but they're you can normally find one or two of them in your playthrough, so no problems. Now you'll see there's a blue borderline there. That's because I'm a blue player. To expand that borderline, we're going to do this. We're going to put a guardhouse in there, and then we'll match that flag up to the main road. Let's just do that. Now the other thing I like about this game is as your settlers tread the path, as you can see there is a path already formed, but as they travel it over time, it becomes cobblestone. So it really starts to become a community road, which is really quite cool. And that's what I like about this game. Everybody works together. You don't have to tell anybody to do anything. You don't have to pick up lazy characters and move them around and tell them what to do. You just let them do it. It's very simple. And that's what I like about this game. The simplicity, anybody can pick this game up and play it. Now, it is on Good Old Games, or GOG, for those of you who are more up to date with the process. It's available for like £3 or £4, I think, something like that. It's not an immensely expensive game. The original Settlers 2 is on there as well. I've actually got that as well, which I think is what the Amiga version is going to be more like, which I'm looking forward to. I'm really, really looking forward to bringing that version to you when it's released. And we're not too far off on that one, so great stuff ahead, folks. Great stuff ahead. But yeah, everything works in unison. It's great. So you've got the lumberjack. He will go and cut down the trees. He will take that log back down to his cabin and leave it outside. Then one of the little helpers comes along, picks up that log, and then takes it to the sawmill. The sawmill will then grind it down into planks. The planks then go to the storage facility, and then the builders will come out and take it out when they need it to build new structures with, which is fantastic. And then you need like a farm that will sow corn, and then you can do a mill, and the mill then grinds that down, and then you can take the flour over to the bakery. Now you're going to need water as well, because when you make a pig farm, you need water for that, and when you do a donkey farm as well, because donkeys are very, very good in this game. They pick up a lot of stuff, and they travel quicker than the humans do, and they can traverse things a lot easier as well. I think they can pick up more as well. So we're going to just put in a plethora of buildings for you to check out, and hopefully you'll get the idea as we go. From a visual standpoint, this game is lovely. It really is. It's a pretty little game, and you've got lots of nice little animations. So you've got the building animations as the little guys there are cleaning the ground. They come in first with a shovel and they scoop the ground until it's ready to be built on, and then they will start building the structure. So you can see the farm there. He's hammering away there, and the structure is coming up. Now you can see these buildings in real time, which is quite nice. You can turn them off, but I don't see the point in that. Just let them build. It is what they live for. And then you've got the quarry, which is basically your stonemason. He'll find rocks, break them down to stone. Then you've got stone mines, gold mines, coal mines, iron mines. All of those, obviously, don't need really to tell you what those are because they're self-explanatory. That's how you get your resources. You can see we've got a fair bit of ground here that we can build on, but we're gonna see if see what we can do. I don't want to do it too much in the go at the moment, but we're going fairly well at the moment actually. Let's see. I like to keep these icons on the screen as much as possible, and I will turn them off at stages like this because it's nice for you guys to see all the scenery and things like that. But it's also nice to see what you can build as well. So we'll put a barracks there and we'll expand that territory a little bit so we've got a bit more room this side of the fence to play with. And yeah, so the stone mine should already be producing some excellent stone. So we shouldn't go short on that anytime soon, which is nice. So what do we do? Well, if you've got a geologist, which you have, you always start with the geologist. You stick a flag where you can see the pickaxe symbol, and then you can put a flag down, put the flag to the road, click the flag, and then you can tell it to release geologists. Now I normally do 2 at a time because it's a lot easier there. See there, we've got a pig farm, we've got a stronghold. So we're going to stick a pig farm in there, and we'll stick that there. We'll stick another, we'll put a coal mine in there, because coal is a resource that you'll need, especially when you come to smelting and things like that. They will all need those sort of things. Now there's an area over there which looks quite profitable. We'll go over there in a minute. We'll stick here. We'll put a stone. No, we'll put a woodcutter's hut in there because there's quite a lot of trees there. Once they've cleared the trees, by the way, if you use a forester, he'll go and replant them. So it's quite beneficial to keep that cycle going. So woodcutter comes in, cuts the trees down, the forester will replant them, and then so on and so forth. So you should never run out of trees. But there you are. But graphically, it's so nice. It's like every building's got its own charm. It's got its own animations. So you can see the sawmill in action there with the blades cutting the logs down into planks. Everybody's got different jobs to do, and they all do it with no complaining. It's rather nice. You are under constant threat of being invaded by NPCs, or if you are networking with friends. Yes. So you can either team up, or you can go against each other, or you can go against NPCs. This isn't against NPCs. I think I know where they are, but I'm not going to invade them because they're not doing anything particularly nasty to me, but I am putting my defenses in place just in case. So yeah, you'll find that enemies generally will just plod across your border, and then your knights will come out and give them a good smashing. Now, the more gold that you've got, and if you pay your knights, they become a lot more sufficient in defending the realm, so to speak. So yes, make sure you get a mint assembled. You can place more flags along the road as well, which if you think about a big conga line of people, the more flags you've got in place, the shorter the journeys are between two people, if that makes sense. But it's just an absolute joy to play. You've got little animations on the trees. You can see them all blowing in the wind. That's a really nice little touch. Sound and music is absolutely fantastic in this game. It's just a beautiful soundtrack. I would have loved to have heard the original Settlers theme in here somewhere. That would have been quite nice, but they didn't put it in, which is a bit of a shame. So tough luck. I'm knocking a point off for that. But anyway, that's just me, because I love the Settlers theme tune. It's absolutely brilliant. Took me through a very arduous time at school and all that jazz. So it's very special to me, the Settlers and the Settlers 2. But yeah, this is a great game, and the fact they re-released it and they updated all the graphics and everything else was really nice. The original Settlers 2 is actually very pretty as well. Now there is a campaign mode, and there's tutorial mode, and then there's this one, which is free play. So you can just do whatever you like here. You will be against enemies if you so wish. You can have 2, 3, or 4, I think. 4 being, or maybe 5 being the maximum amount. Each one of you will be a different colour, so your border lines will all be different colours. So blue, red, green, yellow, I think it is. You'll all have a different one. So there you are. The idea of the game basically is to conquer the land and make it as inhabitable as possible. You've got a lot of these little settler dudes, and they're all having great fun. At least that's the idea. But it's a great little life game. It's a little like life managerial. You are in control of where you put the buildings. You're in control of which ones you put where. You want to try and keep them as close together, so you want the sawmill next to the woodcutter, because then there's a less journey to have there. You want to put the bakery next to the mill next to the farm, that sort of thing. So you're chaining everything together. Now, you don't need to rush this game. This is one of those games where you can just kick back and relax. If you've got a TV show you want to watch, stick that one in the background, because these guys go at their own pace. You can speed them up if you want to, but I don't like doing that, just because I like the pace of the game as it is. But if you're really waiting for a building to be built, and you're really, really impatient, then you can speed it up via the icons on the bottom of the screen. So there you are. So talking to the UI, so there's not a lot really. Each of the buttons on the bottom do a different thing. A lot of them are just statistic things. Top left corner are your toggles, so you can toggle announcements on and off and things like that. It's worth having a look through. Now, if you click on a building at every given point, it'll tell you what it needs. So if you click on the donkey farm, for example, it'll tell you that it needs water and it needs grains. So that's what you'll need for that. And I think the pig farm is the same as well. So you'll see what you need. So you'll need to build a well, because that's what's going to give you water. You'll probably be better off using more than one well as well, because you'll probably want to have at least 2 of everything, just to keep things moving along in a nice way. You can put a new storehouse in as well, so they don't all have to keep going back to the original building. So there's lots to see, lots to do. Eventually you can build ships as well to take them across the water. You can build little rowboat pathways across the lakes as well. So that's really quite nice. So what's it like playability? Well, I think I've covered that. It is incredibly playable. The pace is at your leisure. That's exactly what it's like. Unless you start getting attacked, then that's when you kind of a little bit more urgency for the game. But other than that, this game is just a pure joy to play. Sandbox, if you like, because there's no real sort of direction that you need to go. You don't have to be overly aggressive. You can do if you want. But then you'll need to have a smithy, and you'll need a weaponsmith and all that kind of stuff as well. You can make tool makers and all that kind of stuff. Everything's there that you need. And the resources that you need to get everything are right there on your doorstep. No problem whatsoever. So, replay value. Well, this game is incredibly replayable. You'll come back to it because at the end of the day, one playthrough will take you more than an hour. I'm telling you this now. We're up to what, 17 minutes coming up, 17 and a half minutes. Oh, 17 minutes 46 by my accounts. Anyway, yeah, so it'll keep you going for a long time, and you can save it, you can come back to it, you can do whatever. So the power is in your hands, and what you want to do with your little civilization is up to you. But it's such a joy to play, and I really must stress that it is very good fun. It might not look fun, it might look boring as hell to some of you, but until you actually play it and get yourself absorbed into the settlers' mindset, then you don't know what you're missing. Anyway, I want to hear from you. Have you played Settlers? Have you played Settlers 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 25, whatever? I don't know what we're up to. Let me know what your favourite Settlers was, and did you play on the Amiga, and are you looking forward to the new Amiga version of Settlers 2? Because I know I am. Anyway, I think we'll leave it there, because we're up to almost 20 minutes. So I'm going to continue playing this now. I'm going to shut the mic down. I'm going to continue playing it. Hope you enjoy the rest of the show. It's all going to be Settlers now, Settlers noise, Settlers music, Settlers everything else without me talking. Hope you've enjoyed it. I've really, really enjoyed bringing this to you, and I hope you go out and buy it yourselves and give it a try. It really is pennies on GOG, so go and have a look. Until next time, my friends, you keep it retro, and as usual, it's bye for now. Bye-bye!
stranger, I know why you're here. You remember games from the yesteryear, games with pixels and that bleep bloop sound, but boy, they were the very best games in town. We light up the night, neon dreams in our eyes, arcade machines whispering low, pixelated worlds where we all come alive, level up high, let the good times flow. Joystick in hand, we're reliving the past, high scores and laughter, we're making it last. With every coin drop, we're forging a bond, in this pixel paradise we'll always respond. Welcome to the Retro Gaming Club, where the 8-bit dreams never fade away. Gaming to the beat of our favorite tunes, let's play till the dawn, we'll never lose. Neon lights shining, we're lost in the glow, in the Retro Gaming Club. Let's go, let's go. Flashback to battles, we'll play side by side, power-ups and hearts, love in disguise. We'll race through the levels, collect all the coins, in this timeless adventure we're waiting to join. Crashing 8-bit beats, igniting the night, from pixels to dreams we'll take flight. With every button pressed, our spirits ignite, in this retro wonderland everything feels right. Welcome to the Retro Gaming Club,